everybody, it's Lexx Marie here. So I wanted to make a video pretty much being very vague on the dreams that I've been having. I kind of figured out, it kind of made sense as a whole as to why my life and different circumstances have been the way that they've been. When I was just younger in general, I've always had this darker energy, just like there's a balance of good and evil. And so I always appreciated and had appreciation for that balance. And so that was number one, I think, that kept me in line as far as my protection. Now, when it comes to protection of darker entities, I always would believe and know that we are living and we are stronger. And that is the first key to protecting your aura, is knowing that, to where nothing can penetrate it, is to know I am living. I am stronger than these darker entities. They crave our attention. They crave our life. They crave our light to bring a balance of their darkness or to take their darkness away, which is very, very sad. I did realize in a few dreams and in reality, in my real time, that I was able to control them. I don't know if it's how strong I am as a clairvoyant entity, or what it is, and I'm getting chills right now thinking about it, but I've came across a few of them. They almost look like humans, but not really. Some of them have human-like features, but it's more of what you want to see them as, or what your scariest version of a entity is what will pop up for you, because they want you to specifically be terrorized and you to be specifically scared to take away your light. I will say that I have came in contact with them. I've been able to speak to some, and I won't go into detail of how, but it was in dreams. And they were trying to basically convince me to go to their side. And when I say their side, I mean agree with the darkness and stay with the darkness. Because I have these gifts, I believe that I am an asset in a way to some of these darker entities to use. So I would get, I'll randomly get attacked in that way. But nothing has ever penetrated my aura, and I've never understood why. So this is kind of explaining that. I was able to control them as far as this one entity wouldn't stop screaming and screaming at me. Being so upset and miserable because of where they were. There is tiers of hierarchy. Like there's, I'm sure, the darkest entity, and it goes down and down and down. And there's different levels of what your afterlife is if you are not the best person. There is tiers from basically least to worst. And I was in one of those. The way that my mind had placed it, I was in almost like a dungeon looking thing. It was all brick, very old, with a lot of bars and slant, like a jail, almost like an old, like if you remember Hannibal Lecter, where they were at the very bottom in Solitary, Silence of the Lambs, my bad. That's what it reminded me of. I was so distraught. I was anxious at the time. I was distraught of just my emotions at the time. And this entity wouldn't stop screaming and screaming and screaming. And I mean just screaming inside of their little cell thing. And they're stuck in there for eternity. And I felt bad, at first, and I was trying to talk to them. But there's only so much talking you can do after they're there for eternity. They don't give a shit anymore. If I'm being frank with you. And I got so upset. And I hate to say that I did this, but the entity, the darker entity, kept on screaming at me. So I was able to grab that entity, touch it, and choke it against the wall. And I picked it up and choked it against the wall. And I had so much strength, energy-wise, to do that. I let him go. And they were like, how dare you? Just coughing. And I was just like, just stop. And then finally, I said, if anybody wants to mess with me again, remember, I can control your moves. Remember, I can control what you're saying. Remember my wrath, and don't do it again. And ever since then, I haven't had any issues. So they've come, and they will come to you as well. But just know what you know. Know that you're stronger. Know that you got this. Know that they want your life, that they're not taking. And know that you can have control.